So I had some thoughts about memory and despair that I wanted to get out while it was still fresh in my mind. So tonight I was cooking dinner and I got a call that someone I care about was on the way to the hospital because they were having trouble breathing. And it kind of shook me a little bit. But I think a lot of what shook me was memories. So there were memories of when I've had that, where I've like been going to the hospital because I felt like wasn't be able to breathe relatively recently with the anxiety stuff. But then also just as a kid, having to go to the hospital a lot because of asthma and things like that. So like that kind of hit, and just kind of being hit where I had a call like that before. And then like the next thing I knew, that person was dead. So like that sort of hitting as well. I've gotten an update since then. This particular person looks like it's going to be okay and everything's going to be fine. But I just sort of kind of went into this spiral. Like I had been thinking about like memory a lot. Like memories of pain, memories of panic just are so strong. And I just recall them so easily. And they get kind of recalled automatically when I'm in situations where they happened before. And once the memory comes, the feelings kind of are still attached to it. And I feel those memories and sensations when it comes to like the panic attacks and stuff. And so I just started feeling this like despair where was feeling like the more of these painful memories that I was creating, it was sort of creating this bigger and bigger monster that one day was just going to just swallow me. And it was going to be a place that I couldn't come back from. Like, because I keep adding to the memories, that, you know, it's sort of like an echo chamber where like you have the painful experience, and then the next time you're having a painful experience like that, you have the memories of all the other times where you've had that same or similar experience, and it sort of bounces back and then adds to what you're feeling now. And then later when you have another one, you're going to be recalling this one and all the previous ones, and it just kind of avalanches in a way. So that's kind of where my mind was going and my thought processes and things, and it just felt so despairing because it's like, how do you escape that cycle? And like it just seems so inevitable that at some point that monster was going to grow so large that it couldn't be overcome anymore. But I sort of was talking through it with Maggie, and like the more I thought about it, sort of I started to come out of that despair pretty quickly, which was very very heartening. Just because you have a memory, an event happened a certain way doesn't mean that that event is going to happen that way again. Like that's just a common negative thought pattern where you identify things in the future because of things in the past. But like the way things happened before are no predictors of how they're going to happen in the future. So that was something that helped a lot to sort of think about. I think part of what helped too was just allowing myself to sort of feel that despair and all those feelings, and not to be afraid of them or to try and chase them away, to just kind of allow them to happen and then kind of reason with myself about them and about what of them was true and what of them wasn't true. It's that sort of thing that I've talked about before where, like, if you act as if someone is coming to you with that problem and talk it through. And like talking it through aloud helps me a lot, but being able to look at memories like that in a different way and understanding that while those, like, the memories of pain will probably never go away, like they might fade, and it's in moments like that, I think it's better to focus on what it is that you want to do and what it is that you want to feel. Try and shift from the past into the future and be like, well, I want to do this thing, and it doesn't matter if I had a bad experience with this thing in the past. It's still something that I want to do. So I'm going to focus on that feeling, the feeling of wanting to do it, and the feeling of, like, positivity, I think is pretty important. But yeah, it's been an emotional evening, so I'm having trouble putting the words together. I'm not sure if this was super clear. Hopefully it was, but it feels good to, like, be in that sort of, that pit of despair and be okay with it in the moment and then be able to get yourself out of it again. It's just one of those successes that, like, I have now, but I also will have in the future. And I think that's why journaling is so important, and like video journaling like this, but just any sort of journaling, because it's easy to forget those successes. Like, it's easy to remember the pain, but it's harder to remember the happiness and the successes. So, like, you want to document those so you can go back and look and be like, I felt all this despair here and I remember that, but I also need to look back and now I can remember, oh yeah, I also didn't feel like that. Like, for me, it's been a matter of hours, but sometimes it might be a matter of days or whatever. But just being able to remind yourself that you did have those little successes, or you did have those tiny moments of not despair or whatever it is. But yeah, I think this was a good experience. Like, as tough as it was to deal with in the moment, allowing myself to deal with it in the moment and not trying to hide away from it or get away from it. Just being able to deal with it. I think that's a good sign. So, thanks, guys. See you next time. Hey guys, thanks for watching this video diary. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can see more videos as they come out. I'm trying to put together some more videos that aren't just the video diary. So make sure you're subscribing so you can check those as they come. And if you're just catching this one and missed the others, you can head back to the first one of the video diaries and see how this journey's going.